just watching someone that has to like go through the trials and the tribulations, push themselves to their absolute limit. Like I love that. Like Rocky. Like
Yes.
like he's like the dude with like that. The story of Rocky and the story of Sylvester Stallone is already like it's like the same thing. Like they're already both amazing stories. Like the guy was basically like a bum almost.
Yeah.
And he had to sell his dog in order to like pay for some like acting class or something. I forgot how the story goes, but it basically like the man had to sell his dog. Like who does that?
Right.
Like, and it turned out to be like the best thing he could have done for himself. He got like $50 from it or something, and now he's like multi-millionaire. Same thing with Rocky. Like he just like threw a switch in his head and he became like the greatest boxer that's ever known, like fighting people that are outside of his weight class. No one does that. I mean, it's a fictional story, but still, like it's an amazing story.
I think there is some nobility in people who want to try to be the best version of themselves, and it's not easy. You know, I think there's people who kind of look down on others because they're less than, and it seems like you didn't let that kind of break you, when you could have.
Middle of high school, like I kind of started opening up more, like kind of coming out of my shell a little bit more. That definitely did help. I think like getting into sports, going into the gym and everything, like that really like, it's like, hey, don't discount the gym, man. Like it helps.
No, yeah.
You know,
100%.
not just physically, mentally. It'll change you in a good way.
So when did that become a big part of your life? Was that more high school, or was that actually? I imagine you didn't start training and
Yeah.
going through like Rocky movies in your
Dude,
bedroom.
That's like my favorite movie.
Start lifting books or controllers.
Right.
Going after it.
Dude. I would have found a way, believe me. No,
But you were a gamer. You were a big gamer during that time. It seems.
Yeah, I still am. So, here's what happened. So, I mean, you know, kids play sports all the time. I was involved in sports. Didn't really like.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of did basketball, baseball,
Oh,
soccer,
okay.
and everything. Not like professional, but like you go to like AYSO and everything,
Sure.
like all the stuff. Like you just stay active. Swim team and everything. But when sophomore year of high school rolled around, I tried out for volleyball. I got on the team. That was kind of funny because I didn't know that you could play volleyball on a court. I thought there was just sand. So when they said come to the gym, I'm like, is there like a sand pit they're gonna set up? Or like I didn't know that there was like a wooden court. I was like, oh, this is so much easier because jumping on the sand sucks. I hate jumping on the sand. It's so hard.
Yeah, it's a California thing. These beaches, and anytime you can find a volleyball court, they're on the beach, and that's what you always think it's that way.
Yeah. It's so difficult. I mean, it's good for your hops, but damn, like it's tough.
Sure.
And then I finished the whole season. I had a blast, and the coach comes up to me. The varsity coach comes up to me, and he's like, "So I heard you want to be on varsity." I was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, coach. Like I definitely want to be on varsity." And he's like, "Well, here's two things you're gonna need to do. You need to go to the gym, and you need to go to club." So it was like a switch went off, like that. Like I didn't have to think about it. I just did it. Like I just went in. I did 2 seasons of club before the next season started because volleyball's like, I think like springtime, like around springtime it begins. So I had the whole summer, wintertime, and just go into the gym. Like I started doing club, and I did the off-season practices at the high school.
Yo.
I went from like going from 4 days a week to the gym to like 5, 6, and then sometimes I'll do like 2 days, or like I'll do my weightlifting and then do my cardio in the evening, or the other way around, or the practice. And it was just like I said, like a 180. Like I was like 140. I was like this, dude. I was a rail, dude. And I went from 140 to 200 pounds in like 6 to 8 months.
Yo.
Like
200 pounds?
Yeah. Like I made a point to like, you know, I want to get on varsity. I need to get on varsity. And as soon as I walked in, my friend Daniel, he's like, yeah, you're already on varsity, dude. Like before tryouts even started, he's like, you are so gonna get it. Like I was so happy. Like it's like, wow, like this is awesome. I put in the work and I earned it. Like, and I haven't stopped since, like going to the gym and everything. Like, I'll take breaks, but you know, it's like, I think it's had a humongous, like, positive impact on my life.
Did you become more social, or were you like less social? Well, imagine so you were saying that you're very much more conservative. Well, I want to say conservative, but introverted during kind of like your childhood years. You didn't even have much friends, and that just was just who you were. But swing around that sophomore when you start going to the gym, do you kind of feel like that's when your personality changed to being more extroverted, being more like out there, and that energy that they kind of kicked in?
Yeah, no, I've had people at that time tell me, they're like, you've changed, you know. I'm like, you're the same.
Like, there's a physical transformation, like literally going from 140 to 200. Like that's a I imagine if you had a picture, I would love to post it, because that must have been a completely different individual.
Oh, it's on my Insta. I think it's on my Instagram. I can show you. Yeah, no, like there's a picture. There's like a side by side of me being 140. I have like a stupid buzz cut, and like I'm wearing this weird belt or whatever. And then in the next one, I'm wearing this like nice green tank top that I'm wearing, and it's just like, damn, like he's changed. Like, and that definitely like made me more extroverted. It's just like, you're a lot more confident because you know, you put in the work, you did what it had to take, you did what it took to get what you want, and you're like, now I'm on varsity, and it's like, and everyone's like, it's volleyball, and I'm like, I still did it. I still did something. My coach gave me, like, I didn't even have to think about it, which was so cool. Like, I was just like, I started talking to like all the other people that were on varsity and everything. Like, I basically rearranged my schedule to make sure that I could do it. Like, I remember coming home after like practice or a like weightlifting session, and I would just hit the bed, like just fall asleep, nap, wake up, go to the gym, like just go, keep going. Like it's awesome. I love those.
Was it the love for volleyball? Like, because I love volleyball. I don't think volleyball gets enough credit.
Yeah,
it's a great sport. Like, you've been in others, right? You were in, soccer. Excuse me. You were in baseball. You did a few other sports as well. But there was something about volleyball that triggered that kind of determination to want to finish something. Was it the community, the team that you were with, or was it just really just like you kind of just really enjoyed the sport in general?
I would say it's a little bit of both. Definitely the community, because everybody there was like really good friends with each other. Everyone like got along. There's like no drama or anything like that. No BS. It's just like, hey, we're just here to have fun, play some volleyball, like just go and kill it out there. And we weren't even the best team. Like I went to uni. Like, we're not very well known for having good sports teams, but that didn't stop me. I was like, you know what? I'll still do it. Like, I'm still gonna have my fun. So. I would say, yeah, it's a little bit of both, and it's just also something for me. It's like, something I can look forward to, because I mean, I hadn't even begun my life, but at least I had something that I could look forward to, because I didn't have anything else going on, like no friends, none of this. Girls would ignore me, everything. I had a pizza face and everything, and just being able to do something that like would improve me across all like aspects of my life, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and everything. Like, I think that's what also like had the biggest impact on me. A lot of the like media that I watched like growing up was a lot of like, I mean, dude, I could tell you everything about Dragon Ball Z. Like, dude, that was, oh my God. Just like, it's going to sound corny, but like, if it works, who cares? Like, just watching someone that has to like go through the trials and the tribulations, push themselves to their absolute limit. Like, I love that. Like Rocky. Like,
yes.
Like, he's like, the dude with like that, the story of Rocky and the story of Sylvester Stallone is already like, it's like the same thing. Like, they're already both amazing stories. Like, the guy was basically like a bum almost.
Yeah.
And he had to sell his dog in order to like, pay for some like acting class or something. I forgot how the story goes, but it basically like the man had to sell his dog. Like, who does that?
Right.
Like, and it turned out to be like the best thing he could have done for himself. He got like $50 from it or something, and now he's like multi-millionaire. Same thing with Rocky. Like, he just like threw a switch on his head, and he became like the greatest boxer that's ever known. Like, fighting people that are outside of his weight class. No one does that. I mean, it's a fictional story, but still, like, it's an amazing story.
I think that I think there is some nobility in people who want to try to be the best version of themselves, and it's not easy. You know, I think there's people who kind of look down on others because they're less than, and it seems like you didn't let that kind of break you, when you could have. Going through a big part of your life, elementary school, middle school, a little bit of high school, and not get a lot of like support, right? And, you know, because a kid left in his own thoughts. I mean, kids are really mean, you know, and they're really mean to themselves too, you know.
Yeah.
And so, seeing you kind of transform and be like, you know, cool, I'm gonna put my life in my own hands, and I'm gonna take that seriously. I'm gonna take my, I guess my training and what my kind of like my next foundation to life seriously. That's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, that's a huge accomplishment for someone to come from in that space, that mental space, into something like you're seeing. Like, okay, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z a lot when I was a kid. In Dragon Ball Z, there's something about like you're seeing Goku, you're seeing Gohan, you're seeing these kids become men, you know, and you just had that transformation almost in a way. You felt like you were going from being a kid and transforming yourself into a man, and that's cool. That's really cool. And it was not no one gave it to you. You just saw mentorship. Some man gave you mentorship, and you took that mentorship and you applied it, and you became something of yourself at a time, and it's carried for you in your entire life. That's really cool.